You know the drill. It's Friday night, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to review SmackDown. Before we do, though, make sure to hit that button and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. We're trying to post every day here, so come be a part of it. Be a part of this journey with us. We're trying to grow this channel as much as we can, so come join us, watch these videos, like them, do all the things, man. Just come and hang out with us for a bit. Was today's Friday Night Smackdown any good? I guess I didn't hate it. There wasn't anything about it that I hated. Some of the some of the feuds are like growing into something that actually matters. Like the whole Sami Zayn MFT's feud seems like it's going to be cultivating. What is weird is like, hey, you guys are going to have a match in 2 weeks. Why not just have it next week? I don't know, whatever. But in 2 weeks, we're going to get a classic Survivor Series elimination match between Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Motor City Machine Guns, and Rey Fenix against the MFTs. Should be fun. Should be fun, especially because in the background of one of Solo's like backstage segments, we saw Uncle Howdy. Finally, was it their Uncle Howdy? I don't know, probably not. But we saw some sort of indication that Uncle Howdy was there. So I'm pretty sure that some way or another, the White Six are going to be a part of this whole feud, which is great because that's how the MFTs got introduced into all of this, was by going after the White Six and trying to. Were they kind of going after the tag team titles? I guess I don't know, but it seems like this is all actually becoming something. For a few weeks there, it all just felt kind of lost. So I'm glad that this whole thing happened. So Sami Zayn came out to cut a promo for some weird reason, um, where he called out Solo Sikoa. And Solo Sikoa and the MFTs came out and they were like, hey, you're not cleared to compete, so we're not going to beat you up today because bad guys care about that stuff. And Sammy was like, hey, joke's on you. Turns out I am cleared to compete. And I actually brought some backup. And then that's when Shinsuke and Rey Fenix and the Motor City Machine Guns came out through the back and like handled their business while Sami Zayn kind of, beat up on Solo. So that whole thing blew up into a thing. Then Nick Aldis made the match. Great. I like that this finally became something because, man, it all just kind of felt like they were doing it to take up time. So it'll be fun to see one of those classic Survivor Series matches again. Um, and like I said, I feel like the Wild Six are going to get involved. So you guys know we love the Wild Six on this channel. We also had at the beginning of the show, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky came out, and I actually kind of liked how Michael Cole like explained all of this away. He's like, hey, it's Survivor Series War Games time, so we're gonna see some people that shouldn't be here. Fine, whatever. I like some sort of explanation because we're trying to pretend like the brand split is a real thing. So I like some sort of explanation. So Michael Cole said that, great, whatever. Rhea Ripley then introduced, two of their partners for the War Games match, and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Alexa Bliss was pumped up. Great. She was talking about how, they're going to get a beatdown, blah, 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 blah. Basically, hey, big bads, we're coming after you. And I like that Charlotte Flair was like, I'm not doing this, man. Rhea, I don't like you. You don't like me. We all know this is true. Because one of the worst things about War Games, as much as those matches are fun and the lead up to those matches are super fun, is when the bad guys and the good guys start aligning just because they're good and they're bad, right? Like, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair have always had some sort of beef, right? Like they've competed so many times. Their matches have always been like crazy good, for one. But yeah, no, it's understandable that Charlotte doesn't trust Rhea. It's understandable that Charlotte doesn't like Rhea. So I like, and I mean, eventually Charlotte will be a part of this team, right? That's just what's going to happen. But I like that she's like reluctant to do so, because why would she align with Rhea Ripley? Why? Just because they got beat up by the same person? Who cares? So I like a little bit of realism here. I love that Charlotte Flair, you know, was the person to do that because that is something Charlotte would super do. So I love that they're understanding this character. I love that realistically, like I said, right, just because me and the guy down the street got beat up by the same person doesn't mean we're best friends now. It's stupid. Especially if we've been fighting our entire lives. Dumb. So like that they did this. So as of right now, Charlotte Flair is out of the War Games picture. Um, And I guess they are looking for 2 new partners now, is what they said at some point. But then there was like a backstage segment where they were chatting for some reason, the 3 of them, about Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss was like, "I'll talk to her, I'll see what happens," which is why I'm assuming that Charlotte Flair is going to take a part of this, right? But they then got beat up by the big bads, right? So first it was the Kabuki Warriors, and then Nia Jackson. Man, Lash Legend looks like a badass, man. I love the way she just came in and just really like destroyed everyone. I I hope they don't mess this up with Lash Legend, because she is a monster heel. Her and Nia can take over this whole division. Eventually, obviously, they'll break up and fight each other, but I honestly don't like, if we're looking at this from a realistic standpoint, from like an actual fighting standpoint, I don't see who could beat up Lash Legend. She's big, she's dope, she's strong. I like her, and I like what they're doing with this character. So kudos to WWE for that. I don't remember the order of how things happened here, but we also saw Jey Uso against The Miz. Match was fine, whatever. The Miz did the 5 moves of doom, which was really fun to watch. Right, obviously paying playing homage to John Cena, right? Because like on screen they've always feuded, but obviously right backstage, I'm sure they're fine and great friends. But unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I would have kind of liked to see The Miz go up against John Cena at some point. Unfortunately, The Miz lost. Jey Uso moves on to the next round. Whatever. Match was good. Match was really good. Um, I really would have preferred to see The Miz move on to the next round and at least give us hope of that. Especially considering the second John Cena match, the second tournament match, because we knew that it was going to be LA Knight, but then it was like a mystery opponent, and then was it Edge? Is it going to be Jericho? Obviously, it wasn't going to be any of them. If you saw previous videos of mine, they wouldn't waste their return on a random SmackDown. They just wouldn't. If it was going to be them, they would have just been like open challenge on Saturday night's main event, and then one of them just would have showed up. They won't. Why would they waste their return on a random SmackDown or a random Monday Night Raw? That's why these mystery opponents, they're gonna be fun, but they're gonna be TNA guys. There's absolutely no way that the other mystery match on Monday is gonna be Edge or Jericho, right? Listen, fast forward to Monday Night Raw, and then me coming back and doing this video and being like, I was wrong, but I doubt it, right? Like, they would have just had the match without having a tournament. Why would they introduce him before that? Anyway, stupid. Anyway, today's mystery opponent against LA Knight, it was Zack Ryder, right? Matt Cardona, whatever. We're calling him Zack Ryder again for some stupid reason. Even though he's much more popular and known as Matt Cardona now, right? Made a whole name for himself in the Indies, but no, he came back to WWE, so we call him by his WWE name. So whatever, Zack Ryder. Came out and had a match with LA Knight. It was just fun to watch him. It was fun to watch him be back. I was wrong. I said they wouldn't bring back a mystery opponent just so that they would lose. They did. They brought back a mystery opponent just so that they would lose, which is fine. LA Knight needs to get some wins. I don't think he's going to be the person to face John Cena at the end of this whole thing, but it was fun to see him get a win, especially because there's been speculations of like, is he in the doghouse with the WWE after that whole Jey Uso thing, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I'm glad he got the win. Fun match with 2 guys that I've never seen wrestle before. Maybe they have, right? Like, they've both been on the indie scene, they've both been in TNA. You guys are bigger nerds than I am. Maybe they have wrestled, but I've never seen it, and it was fun. It was fun to watch it all. We also got the 2 matches for next week from this tournament, and no more mystery opponents because these were the final 2 matches. So we only have a mystery opponent on Monday, and then next week on Friday Night Smackdown, we got Penta Cero Miedo against Finn Balor. Fun. Love it. Want to see this match. Great. And then we got Carmelo Hayes versus Bronson Reed, which obviously Bronson Reed is going to win. Maybe Bronson Reed wins this whole thing. That'd be fun, right? Like, what better way to elevate Bronson Reed than by having beat John Cena in his final match, taking the Intercontinental Championship away from him? I love that. That would be perfect storytelling, but it's too good for WWE to actually do so. It's probably not going to happen. But those are our matches for next week. Also, there was a lot of ball jokes in this whole thing, right? Like, R-Truth came back with his balls, and then at some point, Nick Aldis handed those balls to Chelsea Green. WWE is making the same jokes they were making when I was 13 years old and laughing my ass off, right? And they're not fun anymore because I'm not 13 anymore. They're just weird. This is weird. Anyway, that whole thing was really fun. Moving on, Jade Cargill is a monster. And I love that they just fed her BFAB. She not only was it like a squash, like she beat her in a minute, right? Like BFAB didn't get a single thing in, right? Like Jade Cargill like power bombed her. She did her whole finisher thing, which I don't remember what it's called. Destroyed her. Then Michin came into the ring to try to like help BFAB after the match, and then Jade was like, "What's up? What's up, dude?" Right? And obviously Michin wasn't messing with that. So Jade Cargill, like she said last week, she is that bitch. She is that bitch. That is what she said, and that is who she is, man. Love it. This is 100% how they should be pushing Jade Cargill because she is a monster. She deserves to just destroy everyone in this division. Destroy everyone. I don't care that she can't cut a promo. Just do this every week. Do this every single week. Just until we get a viable opponent. I don't know, Charlotte Flair, or maybe Tiffany comes back, maybe Lash Legend, whatever. I don't care. But until then, just do this week after week after week. We also got the US Open Challenge for Ilya Dragunov's title, right? Fun. We have this whole thing again backstage with Tommaso Ciampa, where Tommaso Ciampa's talking to Nick Aldis and Ilya Dragunov, and he's like, "Hey, make him take my challenge." Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis is like, "It's up to the champ's discretion to see who he wants to take on." Since when? Since when, Nick Aldis? Well, you don't make matches anymore. The champions just pick. You literally made a match today. Although I guess Cody Rhodes did kind of kind of decide that on his own. But yeah, just make the match. Make the match, Nick Aldis. But anyway, apparently Ilya Dragunov, the good guy that he is, doesn't have to answer Tommaso Ciampa's challenge, even though Tommaso Ciampa is literally following the rules. Sure, he tried to skip the line a couple weeks ago with Nathan Frazier was answering the challenge, whatever. But since then, he's tried to follow the rules, and Ilya Dragunov is just like, I'm a good guy, so screw you. Dumb. What a dumb thing. Anyway, we're eventually going to get this match. Maybe Tommaso Ciampa will win. Maybe that's where this is all going. If we're doing all of this just for Tommaso Ciampa to lose, I'm going to be upset. But anyway, Ilya Dragunov had his open challenge match against Axiom. Fun, right? Like both of these dudes are just really fun to watch. And that's kind of what this open challenge is all about, right? It's just seeing these guys that are really great in the ring just go at it against each other and kind of highlight and be like, hey, am I an Axiom fan now? Which, like, yeah, I always kind of have been since they've made it to the main roster because I don't watch NXT. But that's kind of what it's all about, right? And this guy can go. It was awesome. It was great. It was fun. I really enjoyed this match. Ilya Dragunov won, of course. So he's still our champion, but I like it. We then got our main event. But before we get into that, there was a couple of backstage segments and vignettes. There was a Chelsea Green portion of it, like I mentioned earlier, sort of, where she's complaining about, hey, where was my pyro when I won the championship? Which, yeah, rightfully so. But also, WWE, we need to get her in a match. We can't do the same thing we did versus Julia, where no one challenges for the U.S. title and Chelsea Green is just hanging out. Yes, Chelsea Green is entertaining. Yes, she's even more entertaining when she's a winner. Yes, she's even more entertaining when she's a champion. Yes, great. But we need to get her in the ring. We need this title to gain prestige, and the best way to do that is by having matches for this title. I don't care if she cheats to win. I don't care if she wins clean. I don't care if she gets the other person counted out. But if she's going to be the champion, she needs to win some matches, and she needs to defend this title. But anyway, she had that whole thing where she was talking about, hey, no pyro when I won, and Nick Aldis was like, yeah, you're right. Next week on Friday Night Smackdown, we're getting a celebration for you. Or she's like, oh, like I'll be okay if you just plan a celebration for me. So apparently we're having a celebration for Chelsea Green next week. Great. Maybe Piper Niven comes back. Who knows? But fun. We also had this Aleister Black vignette where he starts talking about how he became what people wanted him to become, and this feud with Damian Priest is still a thing. Wepa. whatever. They need to just have their final match, and we need to just get past this. We need to get past this match. Zelina Vega was also like, "Hey, I aligned myself with my husband because we're bad now." Whatever. We get it. They're big bad guys, and they do big bad guy things. Fine. Then we did. We got our main event between Cody Rhodes and Bronson Reed. This match was like 10 minutes long, right? Like it was so short, and there was a commercial break in between. I think. I don't know. Whatever. It ended in the way that we all thought it would end, which is with shenanigans. Which I don't understand, right? If Bronson Reed is getting a title shot, because this was for the Undisputed Championship, why get involved, Vision? One of your guys could possibly win the most prestigious title in WWE. Why get him purposefully disqualified? Right? Why interfere? But that's exactly what they did. Braun Breaker and Logan Paul interfered in this match. Whatever. Got Bronson Reed disqualified. Then they started beating up on Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso came out, and Jimmy Uso, because earlier in the night, Jimmy Uso was like, "We got your back, Uso, and I'm going to be a part of this War Games match with you too, Uso. I talked to Punk already, Uso." So the three of them were out there. So 3 good against the 3 bad. And then who comes out? Yes, exactly who we all expected to come out. Drew McIntyre is now also a part of this match. So at this point, it's Drew McIntyre, it's Logan Paul, it's Braun Breaker, it's Bronson Reed. It's going to be Brock Lesnar as the 5th person. It just is. Versus CM Punk, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Cody Rhodes. And probably John Cena. This is the thing. If it's Brock Lesnar, it's going to be John Cena. If it's literally anyone else, it'll be LA Knight. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, that was the show tonight. Like I said, it was fine. It was okay. I liked some of the things that they were doing. The whole Ilya Dragunov thing, his matches are cool, but like the whole story with Tommaso Ciampa. Also, like, we're trying to get people to call Tommaso Ciampa a jackass now. I like Tommaso Ciampa, but I don't get this whole thing about Ilya Dragunov being like, "Oh, I'm not going to challenge for it anyway." Whatever. I'm not going to accept this challenge because I'm a good guy. Dumb. I like the whole Charlotte Flair just being like, "Nah, man, I'm not going to do that." Because I don't get along with Rhea. That makes perfect sense to me. They don't get along. Why would they all of a sudden partner up just because we don't like Lash Legend and Nia Jax and the Kabuki Warriors? Okay, whatever. Anyway, like I said, mostly positive show, mostly good show tonight. The show did fly by, which is always, always, always a good sign that Friday Night Smackdown is good. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Let me know if you enjoyed tonight's show. Let me know if you like the way some of these storylines are going. I'm still not convinced between the Sami Zayn MFTs thing, but you know what? It built towards something. And that's what I've been asking for, right? Is everything needs to have a purpose. And that's the purpose of this. And maybe the purpose of all of it is the White Six. We'll see. Anyway, since you made it this far, make sure to drop a comment. Nope. Since you made it this far, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to comment. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to do all the things. And as always, go touch grass, you nerds. Peace.